it was so different from what it is now, the production of the paper. To get a line of type, they had to sit at this big linotype machine that always scared me growing up. It was big, and there was this melting pig iron, there was melting lead, and it was hot and steamy and dirty, but that's how you set the type. And so they both operated that. They all mocked up the pages, and they proofread, and Mother did most of the bills, I think, kept that end up. And actual printing of the paper was one person stood on a raised platform with this huge drum of a press and had to hand flip each page, which turned out to be 4 pages, but had to hand flip each one into and then they'd get stuck and they'd have to stop, and you know, it was hard work keeping the machines going. One of the things that they did from early on was to use the editorial voice of the review much more strongly than it ever had been used before. And, there still were all these cute, gossipy little articles about small-town America, but they did use their editorial voice mostly for community activities. You know, they were one campaign that my mother had in her column and in the editorials was to cover the abandoned wells on Bainbridge. She was very concerned that a child would walk over and get trapped in a well, and so she mobilized the island. People got around, covered their wells, and they did those kinds of things for the community. Always supported the library and that kind of thing. So that was a change with the review to doing that, and they also were and I think this also was a change. Rather than just relying on people bringing news to the paper, they went out and covered school board meetings and city council meetings, if there were those in Winslow at that time. And so they were it was very important to them that the news articles be as objective as they could be, and that they spoke their mind in the editorials. And alongside that, they established the open forum so that islanders could also express themselves. And through letters to the editor, they would print any letter that they got. They would find space for any letter that they got as long as it was signed and wasn't libelous. So.